friend of mine suggested that I had better things to do in my life than concentrate on the culture wars. It makes me think and consider for a few moments. After all, we have a limited amount of time on this earth. Most things we do, we don't even remember the next day. The events are archived, and only a select few memories percolate through the mind on any regular basis. Cultivate those to make them ones of gratitude and victory, if you can. Given this, why would I spend the limited amount of time I have on this planet mocking the woke and explaining how the corporate establishment media lies over and over and over and over again? And then when we extrapolate to how small we are as individuals in relation to this earth, a grain of sand on the beach, and the earth isn't even that large compared to our galaxy, and our galaxy even smaller compared to the universe. In other words, as much as our egos want us to believe differently, we are nothing. How about we just appreciate the moments of sentience that we have and bliss out in a state of nirvana as we realize the interconnectedness of life and the energy of the universe being one. All this I grant as truth, and still I am experiencing the miracle of life as an individual entity on this planet, and upholding that there are actual truths, both mathematical and moral, which define the playground of the universe. And it has taken eons for humanity to uncover these truths, these laws of physics that allow our society to thrive. Innocent until proven guilty. Judge me by the content of my character, not the color of my skin. Do unto others as you would have done to you. The 10 Commandments. There are simple rules and strategies used to operate in the world that are simply superior. So when I see postmodernists claiming that there are no universal truths, that everything is relative, as if you can eat nothing but McDonald's meals and Coca-Cola and have the same health outcomes as someone eating organic broccoli and chicken with a glass of filtered water. When I see the woke claim that being colorblind and not recognizing someone based on the color of their skin is, in fact, racist.
Race matters, and we need to say so.
That biological females have the same strength as males. That Michiganders protesting COVID restrictions are endangering public health and are behaving in a terroristic manner, but massive BLM protests weeks later are beneficial for public health. And looting and burning down buildings are still mostly peaceful. That 2 + 2 = 5. I instinctively recognize a threat not only to the system of government and values that, yes, are superior in function and outcome to the rest of the world, but an assault on truth itself. It's a cosmic joke that a doctor who states that he will not be checking the prostate of a biological female who identifies as male might get attacked on Twitter for being transphobic, as they clamor to have his medical license removed. Meanwhile, the same person would sue him for medical malpractice if he prescribed her Viagra that caused her heart palpitations to improve her stiffy. When Virginia elects a black female lieutenant governor and a Hispanic DA, and the media and the left declares it purely a function of white supremacy.
The problem is here, they want white supremacy by ventriloquist effect. There is a black mouth moving, but a white idea through the running on the runway of the tongue of a figure who justifies and legitimates the white supremacist practices.
Would? I don't think so. Homie, don't play that.
This ideology is what they are attempting to implant into the minds of young people. They want them irate and angry. And when you point out that sowing racial division amongst youngsters is not good for anyone except for their drive to power, they'll gaslight you and say they aren't teaching critical race theory.
In critical race theory, it's really critical race theory, right?
And then, of course, call you racist.
White Americans are inherently racist.
It took 80 years to unwind the horrors of communism in the Soviet Union, and Eastern Europe still has major societal scars from the ideology. Yet this is the Russian import these people clamor for. And most people say, yeah, let them do what they want. I just want to enjoy my life. I'm just going to pretend to go along with it. They build their coalition in part because people do not stand up and expose them for the authoritarian, hateful people that they are, and they amass more and more power. Suddenly, more and more individuals become fearful to speak out, like an evil snowball. And slowly, that joy of living, the easiness of life, the opportunities to better oneself begin to fade away, and then disappear in a flash when they are able to fully choke the life out of truth and mandate that a doctor must prescribe Viagra if a biological female demands it. And that as a society, we must also pay for it. And reflecting on this, from a selfish short-term standpoint, it would be far easier to disappear into the jungle, listen to the river run, drink coffee, and not think of these things. But instinctively, I cannot do that. I choose to fight and stick up for truth so we can avoid the 80 years of Bolshevik rule, so that we can avoid the firing squads these fascists who claim they are anti-fascists would immediately set up if they could. When do you want to fight these wannabe Hitlers? After they have built their army, as you've sat around like Neville Chamberlain, praying that you're correct, that they don't intend to destroy the world? You appease them because you perceive the cost of standing up to them today to be too high. You want to let someone else do the dirty work and then complain about the rampant shoplifting in San Francisco as the progressives ignore human nature and incentives out of ideological purity. I stand up. I speak out. I spend my valuable time on this because I think I must. Like a soldier, I face down this brutal enemy so you don't have to. So that they don't teach your children that they are the oppressor or that they are oppressed because of the color of their skin. Maybe it provides some meaning in my life, but I'm not fighting a battle of ideas against these people to put them down. I'm fighting them because they assault truth with a capital T. I spend my time on this because I want my children to inherit a world of laughter, of possibility, of one driven by merit, and not live in the gray clothes and gulags that they would imprison you in if they had the power to do so for wrongthink. A la 1984. Not so they can promise no vaccine mandates and then try to enact laws forcing you to forego your right to state, my body, my choice, that they espouse and cheer for when a biological man gets pregnant by whatever formulation they come up with. Objectively, spending the time on this, speaking up so much, and continually being attacked by the wokesters doesn't make sense. I do it because I feel compelled to. Because if I don't stop the fascists marching, who will? Join me, please.